Welcome back to S.WigginsTV. I'm your host, Worldwide Wiggins, and I'm back. But you know what? I'm back with a vengeance, man. Real quick, you see what happened when I did the top 15 and the top 10 big and small hoods? You see how when I do the smaller hoods, people appreciate it, and then you're like, oh, we learned something, and this is dope. You know what I mean? But when I do the bigger hoods, oh, no, man, you should have did this, you should have did that. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I do forgotten hoods, smaller hoods. That's why, right there. And that is precisely what you can never, dudes with big hoods, you can't make them happy, bro. You can't please somebody from a big hood, bro. So from this point out, I'm finna do nothing but small hoods, bro. I represent for all the ninjas out there from small hoods. I represent for ninjas with small dicks. I represent for ninjas with, we in this together, nigga. Hey, somebody say, Wiggins, is that why she left you and took the kids? It done too soon, cuz. That wasn't nice. Don't kick you while I'm down, homie. Today we gonna be covering, you know, some of the most slept on small hoods in LA County, man. And you know what? Today I'm gonna try to name off some of the hoods I didn't name before. You feel me? So all you smaller hoods that didn't get your hood name, you know, the last ones, check it out. You know, I'm back with a vengeance, man. I'm here to take care of everything. So let's get straight to it. All right? And I'm not doing no number one, number two. I'm just naming off. All right, first up, Raven Street Hustler Compton Crips. This hood is a small, dangerous hood that's over there by the Nutty Block territory. They stretch from Aprilla just a few blocks, but they mostly hold down one street, which is Raven Street. They are not to be confused with the Raymond Avenue Crips in West Athens and the other Raymond Crips in Inglewood. And as far as I know, the Raymond Street Hustler Crips, they don't have a connection to the Raymond Avs, you know, as far as roots go. Then you got the Watts Franklin Square Crips. I just said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Watts Franklin Crip is not extinct. Certain people will not let their hood die. And you got to feel them, because you would do the same thing. But I also said that because they got this cul-de-sac, like, by these apartments. Man, if my memory serves me correctly, that's my word. I'm trademarking it. If my memory serves me correct, it's near like 102nd somewhere. You know, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm doing all of this from memory. At one point, these dudes was a powerhouse set, and members of their hood can be seen in the Nationwide Rip Riders video. All right, next, you got the Fudgetown Mafia Crips. People say they get their name. I would say people say they get their name because they had a lot of dirt roads and with a lot of mud in there, to the point it looked like chocolate fudge on the street. Yo, that's what I heard. And people ask, is they still there? And the answer is yes. Now, you know, I wish I had some more videos, but that should be coming soon. They are a very reputable set. It has survived wars with Grave Street and other surrounding vicious hoods. So let's give it to them. All right, next, you got the Gardena 146 Hustler Crips. Shouts out to my boy T. T, I don't even call a ninja no more. You see how it is, bro? But nah, I'm proud to say that I was the first person on YouTube to ever get an interview with a Gardena 146 Hustler Crip. Now, not to toot my own horn, bro, but if you go to my playlist on my page and watch my interviews, I put a lot of lesser known smaller hoods on the map, and I got some real dope interviews with priceless information. I'm just saying, bro, I'm low-key proud of myself. And the 146 Hustler Crips been around since the 90s, and they located around 145th/146th in Western. They also had a 161st and 165th Street click, if I'm not mistaken. And they claimed Bell Park and Gardena as they hood park. All right, next you got the Watergate Crips. A lot of people sleep on Watergate. And I know if I don't include Watergate, I'm gonna get a phone call from a certain person who gonna cuss me out. And this person is like a Debo in they hood. A lot of people were scared of this dude. And ironically enough, did you know that Debo from Friday was based off an actual Watergate Crip? Now, rest in peace to Tiny Lister. He may have studied other people's mannerisms, but as far as the script and the character was based on, oh, that was a Watergate Crip. Out of respect, I won't say the brother's name, but this is all facts. This is true. Watergate Crips ain't too big in numbers, but they still outside. Over there on 119, 116, 117, and all that. Rest in peace to the young homie that lost his life in Watergate. All right, next, you got the All for Crime Bloods. You might be wondering, like, why Wiggins never covered, the hoods and the low bottoms? It's because I never really been in that area more than twice, simply put. But even I know the All for Crime Bloods came from being a tagger crew to rising in the ranks as one of the top Damu hoods in the East Side Low Bottoms area. They survived beef with the very notorious and reputable Latino gang, 38th Street, and are still pushing. Give them their respect. Next, you got the Kitchen Crips. I don't know why, but people always seem to sleep on the Kitchen Crips, including me. I'm not exempt. They one of the, silent but deadly hoods on the east side of South Central. They got hoods on either 88th or 87th. In Central, I always forget the street, forgive me. But for sure, on the 116th of Avalon, with the 116th Avalon. Also, they got a lot of different cities in the South, like St. Louis and Memphis, with Kitchen Crip hoods out there. And that's dope. All right, next, you got my beloved West LA Crips, the Blasted Fools Gangster Crips, Ladies First Choice Gangster Crips, the Marvin Gangster Crips, the Mansfield Gangster Crips, By Yourself, all y'all, you know what I mean? Shouts out to G. Corleone for Marvin's, cause I know I'm gonna get cussed out if I don't mention my boy. What up, cuz? You already know. Salute G Blue, Scando for Blasted Fools Gangster Crips. I ain't interviewed nobody from Mansfield yet, but much love to him. And definitely big shouts out to Fatty Low and Payback for Ladies First Choice Gangster Crips. All the above mentioned hoods is still active. They ain't went nowhere, and I gotta salute it because they fought for their hoods. They didn't really fall victim to pressure for bigger hoods. I appreciate y'all. I salute y'all. And if a ninja asks me, we need to do a big West LA compilation episode with everybody, But see, y'all playing. Yeah, y'all ain't ready for that, Yeah, that's too exclusive, But let me know. All right, next, you got the Weirdo Gangster Bloods. Weirdos is another silent hood, but it's still low-key, active out there in Inglewood. Of course, because of their name, a lot of people clown on them and say a lot of things, but I'm hearing word in the wind that they lightweight, still beefing with the badass gangster Crips right now, And similar to them, they push 111th Street. They one of the smaller hoods over there by Imperial. All right? Next, you got the Harvard Gangster Crips. Another one of my accomplishments I'm proud of is when I got an interview with my boy Big Cheese from Harvard Gangster Crips. I shocked a lot of people who didn't really know the movie Friday was shot in their hood. I low-key dropped the ball on my first list because they surrounded by Raymonds, 111, Denver Lanes, and still managed to keep pushing. This hood is definitely not extinct, and they got young homies from they sets still out there. As a matter of fact, when I got the call from Big Cheese, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, my little homies told me about, when you did the episode on us." I was real happy to hear that, bro. That shows that a lot of people watch my stuff, man. Big shouts out to the Harvards, man. All right, next, you got the Payback Crips. First things first, I like to give a rest in peace to Barefoot Pookie. I was going through some hard times these last few days, losing my kids and my baby mama and all that. And he unfortunately passed, while I was stressing, man, so I didn't really catch wind of it. He was the creator of the Payback Crips. The Payback Crips is still out there in the guard, stretching from Vermont all the way down to Rosecrans, 130s all over there. They definitely not inactive, so, watch yourself over there. All right, next, you got the Ducky Hood Compton Crips. Ducky Hood deserves a shout out because they've been through a lot, and they members and they territory is small. They like the closest thing to a back in the day Crip because they mostly beef with local Parus like Lewis Park, Limehood Parus, and Hollywood. All right, next, you got the Playboy Hustler Crips, 68th Street. I remember when I did the V-Buddy for Playboy Hustler Crips episode. A lot of Playboy Hustlers gave me some positive feedback. Shouts out to Boss Hog for that dope interview we did too. The 6'8 Playboy Hustlers is still outside, and they hood is 304 Central. They pretty much in the middle of the Hoovers, who are super vicious and they managed to survive, so shouts out to them. Alright, next, you got the Linden Block Gangster Crips, the Esther Block Gangster Crips, and the 19th Street Gangster Crips, and the LBC. I usually don't do this, but I remember watching a video when a Linden Block Crip allegedly got a thing pulled on him. Cuz tried to hop a fence, but I guess he was stuck. But in the midst of it, while staring down a barrel of a blammer, he said, "Hey bro, I can't get a fade. Why don't you just give me a fade?" Now that's a real ninja right there, hands down. I don't care what none of y'all talk about. I don't care who try to clown, cause if you get a thing pulled on you and you ain't got it on you, well your ass is running. You could try to play tough on the internet like you would sit there like Scarface and absorb the bullets, but you'll be the first one to run. So salute that homie, whoever he, I don't know him, but I gotta salute cuz. That's a real one. Also, shouts out to Esther Block and 19th Street Gangster Crips, a free little C-style. Alright, next, you got the Scottsdale Power Rules, Scotts Park Power Rules, and the Grace Avenue Power Rules. Carson is an underrated city, but I gotta say, the Scottsdale Power Rules and the Scotts Park Power Rules are very reputable out there. Now, I'm not sure if they small hoods, but I know for sure they've been with the business for some time now. Yeah, they definitely, underrated. But another hood I wanted to point out is the Grace Avenue Power Rules. They definitely like a newer set to my understanding. And the hubby for Menlo told me they might actually be a clique or was a clique of the larger Scottsdale Power Rules, or one of them, that's what he said. But I gotta give it to him. I heard some, reputable things. Salute to him. Next, you got the Cedar Block Power Rules. Man, if I get one more person asking me about Cedar Block, I'm gonna explode. Here's some recent pics of Cedar Block, man. In my billboard from Westside Power Rule episode, somebody said that Cedar Block, was extinct, but they not. As a matter of fact, they over there, if you know, you feel me? Over there in that cul-de-sac, when you make that right off of Wilmington, when you cross Kemp. Yup. Alright, next, you got the Nut Hood Watch Crips, the Neighborhood Watch Crips, and the Playground Watch Crips. These are 3 Crip hoods in Watts that I wanted to point out. The Nut Hood Watch Crips on 114th and Alameda, the Neighborhood Watch Crips on the 110th/111th and Alameda, and the Playground Watch Crips who go from Imperial to 112th and from Grape to Wilmington. Alright, next, you got the Front Hood Compton Crips. Original Front Hoods is a very reputable Compton hood that's surrounded by enemies, which include the Power Rules, like West Side and Fruittown, and even Crip enemies like Pocket Hood Compton Crips, Anzac Great Compton Crips. And they definitely top 5, you feel me? Something about this hood is familiar. Next, you got the Palmer Block Compton Crips. Another underrated small hood out there in Compton, But like one of my homies told me in the 90s, you did not want to be an enemy of the Palmers. They was busting caters every night, bro. And police wouldn't even come. It was wild like that. It was crazy. The 90s was a wild time, bro. And I ain't gonna say too much, but next, you got the 103rd Street Hard Time Hustler Crips. 103rd Hard Times needed an honorable mention because they surrounded by vicious Denver Lane Bloods, and they still managed to survive. And they only pushed like 1 or 2 blocks. They legends in my eyes. Shouts out to the 103rd Hard Times, alright? Next, you got the 11 Deuce Hoovers. Like I told somebody, 11 Deuce Hoovers is not extinct. I see some hit-ups like last year, and they might not be big in size or members, but don't forget, they still Hoovers, and they still vicious, for sure. Alright? I got some honorable mentions, but I was gonna do a part 2, like Crenshaw Mafia, Gundry Blocks, Ghost Town Bloods, Waterfront, Twilight Zone, Oak Block, Graveyards. But I think I'll stop it here. But yeah, man, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, man. I like this right here, man. There's nobody above nobody, I I'm just doing it up, you feel me? Trying to cover the whole spectrum, you know what I mean? You hear me? Finna do it big in a minute, man. Gas coming soon, you hear me? I'm out of here. Wait!